Hey everybody, this is the second part of 3 videos demonstrating what I will call battery terracing. My apologies if the first video was unclear. Part 1 was just a skills demonstration, a soldering tutorial that will be useful later, and that was not designed to demonstrate any center of gravity improvements just yet. But in this part, it will become clear how to reconfigure a battery so it sits lower. On this channel, we look at the science behind our grown-up toys. Lowering your CG is absolutely the most effective way to improve your RC crawler's performance in almost every aspect of driving. This idea was inspired partially by Apple MacBooks that use what's called a terraced battery. Now, I don't need any trouble from Apple, so I'm not going to borrow any of their images, but the basic idea is that they stack different sized and shaped batteries to fit into the shape of the housing. This image is roughly what they do on some of their laptops. Also, from the top view, they have different shaped batteries that fit around other components, kind of like a puzzle. We're not going to get that crazy, but I think we can at least split a battery into 2 parts and then position it lower in the chassis. So I'm going to take 2 2S batteries and wire them to perform like a single 4S battery. This will give us some flexibility to package 2 smaller batteries more creatively. If you want, you could reconfigure 3 or 4 1S batteries and get even more flexibility. But to keep it somewhat manageable, I'm going to start with just wiring 2 2S batteries in series so they act like a 4S. Series means the same capacity, but the voltage doubles. 2 450 mAh packs in series still only provides 450 mAh, but the voltage doubles, so you get the punch of a 4S. If you wire them in parallel, you get double the runtime, but no additional voltage punch. First, it's critical to understand how LiPos are wired, and believe me, you don't want to mess this up. Here's a typical battery. The primary port, or primary connector, is for powering the ESC and the motor, and we'll usually have larger diameter wires to accommodate the high power draw with minimal resistance or restriction to the power that's coming out to the battery. The balance connector is for charging so that the charger can look at each cell individually. If they are XT connectors, they're usually yellow and sometimes black. If they are EC connectors, they're usually blue. Here is a single 1S battery. It's just one battery cell. 3.7 volts is the nominal value. The actual voltage, if you measure it, is different. It'll start about 4.2 volts when it's fully charged, and you should never run it below 3 volts, or I set mine to 3.3 just to be safe. Normally your ESC and or transmitter will have a low voltage cutoff, and you want to be sure to use that. You will damage the battery if you run it below 3 volts. These are the main power leads. I'm not showing the balance plug just yet. Here's what a 2S battery wired in series looks like. The positive and negative is connected in the middle. Should this cable be red or should it be black? It doesn't matter. It's important to notice how these are wired. Positive to negative, positive to negative. It might feel weird soldering a black wire to a red one, but that's how batteries work. If you put some AA batteries in your TV remote, they go in with the positive end touching the negative end of the next battery. So don't get tripped up by wire color. This is what series wiring looks like. Here is a 3S, and the voltage goes up to 11.1. And here is 4S. Again, this diagram only shows the primary battery output wiring. You will only always connect your ESC to the larger diameter wires because of the high amp draw and the high voltage. You want the fatter wires so you have less resistance and the motor can pull as much energy as it wants without being constricted by the small wires with high resistance. Think of wire gauge or wire size as water flowing through a pipe. The bigger the pipe, the more water it will let flow. Now this is where it starts to get more complicated and could be confusing. This is how your balance port is wired, and these are usually the smaller diameter wires. Full disclosure, I wired this wrong the first time and melted the connectors right off of the plug. Lipo batteries are hugely powerful, so double and triple check all your wiring to avoid damage and personal injury. This is the balancing port or balance connector. It allows the charger to see what each cell is doing individually.
Under use, your batteries can sometimes discharge at slightly different rates. A balanced charge will put them all back nice and even to the same voltage, which is safer and provides longer battery life and more consistent performance. First of all, take a look at the outermost wires, number 1 and number 5. These two wires span the entire battery pack. So if you were to measure the voltage at 1 and 5, you'd get around 14.8 volts. Or if it's fully charged, you might get as much as 16.8 volts. Now, if you measure just across wires 1 and 2, you'll just get the voltage of a single cell, about 3.7 volts nominal. If you measure the second cell, and if you measure 2 and 3, you see the voltage of just the second cell, and so on, and so on. I'm not 100% certain exactly how the charger sends current or reads the voltage through these wires, but I am 100% sure this is how it's wired. One thing to be aware of is that your ESC can only see the total voltage coming from the battery because it's only connected to 2 wires. It's actually connected to the thicker primary leads and not the balance connector. Once your car shuts down because the battery is dead, each cell might be at a slightly different voltage. They don't necessarily send power and discharge at exactly the same rate. Let's say your cutoff voltage is set to 3 volts. Your car will stop driving at 3 volts times 4, that's 12 volts. But that is the average voltage. The ESC doesn't know if one cell is lower. It's not until you connect to a balance charger that it will show you if any of the single cells are low. The issue can be that a battery with one cell that is over discharged, it might not want to charge thinking that the cell is damaged because the voltage is too low. There is a simple way to fix this, but I'll save that for another video. Just know that you should always balance charge to keep everything as even as possible, especially as your cells degrade over time at slightly different rates. Now let's look at how we can wire two 2S batteries to look like a single 4S battery. A 2S connector has 3 wires. A 4S connector has 5 wires. So all you do is connect 1 and 3. This should be how all batteries are wired, and you can double check with the voltage meter. Now the second connector becomes 4 and 5. And you can combine that into one 4S connector. Now you have a 4S, even though the batteries are in 2 separate packages. And if you compare, it'll look exactly like the 4S from the beginning of the video.
Now let's build a test wiring harness before committing 100% to a hardwired setup. Full disclosure, I did do this incorrectly the first time, sparks flew and my connectors melted off. So here's the next mod I'm going to do, and I have done this before on other vehicles. This is my current 4S battery, and these are the same size battery, only in 2S. So you can see they're pretty much the same size, same width. And what I want to do is take these 2 batteries and lay them flat and put them somewhere where the center of gravity on the vehicle will be lower. But I also want to make it simple by fixing the wiring. Now, you could absolutely just use 2 batteries, charge them and balance them separately. Then when you put them in your vehicle, you would just use an adapter like this. You can make your own. You can also buy them from Three Brothers RC. But basically, it's just a Y connector, and both batteries would be plugged in like this, and then this goes to your ESC. And this gives you the flexibility to, put the batteries on both sides of your vehicle, stagger them somewhere. If you've got them on your front axle like I do, double stacked like this, or like this really. What I want to do is try to split this up and move these to a more strategic location. And then you would charge your batteries separately. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with charging your batteries separately, but you can do it faster if you were to charge them both together as a 4S. The benefit of charging 2 batteries at the same time as a 4S is simply that they'll get a better balance between the 2 of them. I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. If you balance this battery and the two are balanced relative to each other. They're not going to be matched perfectly to these two, but it's probably not that big a deal. It's just a bit of a hassle to charge two batteries separately. And ultimately what I want to do is have two batteries side by side with one set of wires coming off of them, which means I need to combine these two connectors and combine these two connectors. But before I commit to hardwiring like that, I want to test the setup to make sure it works. I've built this adapter. This is two 2S connectors connected to a 4S connector. And you wouldn't have to put this on your car. This would only be for charging off the vehicle. On the vehicle, you're just plugging these two in. So what I did is I very carefully followed the diagram earlier in the video, and hopefully I got it right this time. Like I said, I did do it wrong, and sparks flew and literally melted the connectors off my adapter wire. This is actually one of the melted ones. You can see that port got melted, and what it was plugged into completely melted off as well. So I don't think this battery is damaged, but I'll save it for later. Let's be sure to use two fresh batteries. Okay, now what I want to do is double check the wiring is the way I think it is. All right, what I'm going to do is double check that the wiring on the inside is the way I think it is. And that means the outside connections should be full voltage. So depending how charged these are, these outside wires should be, I don't know, 7 volts. Okay, now let me test the middle one. That's only going to be half the voltage. Yeah, okay, so I know that middle wire goes to one cell. The two outside wires are both cells, and then the two wires on the left is also one cell. So you can see with 3 wires, you can measure both cells and each cell individually. The outside wires are wired exactly like I suspected in my earlier diagrams. So again, I want to do a very careful test to make sure I wired it properly. What I did was so if you look at this, the end wire is routed to the first wire here. These two are connected. So this is basically 1, 2, 3 connected to 4, 5, 6. So I've got 3 and 4 connected in the middle, and 3 and 4 is my new 3, 4, 5. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, starting with the red, 1, 2, 3 is connected to 4, 5, 6, number 4. So number 3 on the 4S is the connection between 3 and 4. That should be right. And then 5, 6 was the old 2, 3. All right, I've double checked this multiple times. Let's start by plugging these in, cross our fingers. I'm a little gun shy because, like I said, last time I saw sparks. Okay, that's a good start. And to charge, we also have to connect these. I'm just going to double check black and red. Black and red. Okay, so I've got a charge port adapter, and I've got a main power adapter. And I've got the charger set to 4S because this is the exact same settings I would normally charge my 4S. I'm not going to change anything. All right, here goes. All right, this is where it could all go awry. Just to let you know, these do have clear shrink wrap on them. I certainly would never leave open bare wire. I just put clear shrink wrap on. These are not exposed. All right, now let's see how this goes. Okay, no sparks. That's a great start. Love this charger. The screen is really small. I did do a whole review on this charger. I'll put some affiliate links in the description for all the connectors, the batteries, the charger, and I really like this voltage gauge. It's pretty inexpensive. It's really all you need, and it's also orange, which is awesome. Anytime you shop with the affiliate links, it supports the channel with a small commission, and we greatly appreciate it. So here we go. Everything's plugged in. Like I said, this is 100% set up exactly the way I would charge a 4S. And start task. There we go. Lipo 4S charging. So you can see it is correctly balanced charging all 4 cells. All right, so that worked out great. The next step is how do we simplify this wiring? This is way too many wires and too big of a headache. What I want to do next is take 2 batteries, position them in my vehicle, and simplify all this cables down to just 2 connectors, a single 4S and a single battery connector. I'll also give you some ideas where you can place these batteries more strategically on your vehicle, and we'll all have lower center of gravity. Three Brothers RC actually sells wiring harnesses similar to what I'm describing here, if you want to run 2 batteries in serial or parallel. So in the third and final video, I'm going to hardwire these 2 batteries together so the wiring and charging is simpler, and give you some ideas how to install them for the lowest possible CG. So be sure to turn on all notifications so you won't miss it.